water, chapter on water. So far we have seen so many interesting things about water. Of course, water is a very important item which is required for all living beings, not only humans, is it not? We have seen the different sources. To recall once again, come on, what are the sources? Rainwater, spring water, water in the lakes, rivers, seas or ocean, etc. And also you have seen the properties of water. It is a very special kind of solvent, is it not? Its boiling point is 100 degrees Celsius, freezing point is 0 degrees Celsius, right? And it has no shape of its own. It takes the shape of the container. It is a colorless one and odorless, is it not? So the density is maximum at 4 degrees Celsius. These are some of the properties, and it is very essential that you should all that water is got in this nature is not suitable for drinking, right? The water that is used for drinking purpose is called potable water. Not suitable are called non-potable water. So that should be purified. There are different processes like decantation, filtration, is it not? Chlorination, etc., etc. And there are two kinds of water as far as the soap reaction with soap is concerned. A sample of water which gives good lather is called soft water. A sample of water which does not give good lather is called hard water, is it not? Again, in hard water there are two types. One is called temporary hard water, another is called permanent hard water. And it is a very essential that you should convert this hard water into soft water. Why? Because there is wastage of soap, wastage of time, wastage of energy and so on. Even in industries also, in boilers, hard water will give a lot of trouble. There will be what is called scaling and all. So it should be converted into soft water. How do you do it? By boiling, come on, by Clark's process, addition of lime water, calcium hydroxide, by ion exchange method, by soda process, adding of sodium carbonate and so on, no? And also we have seen that there are two type of ions in water. One is called hydrogen ion and another is called oxide. So it is a polar nature. There will be charges. One is called positive charge, cation part, another is anion part, negative charge, is it not? And that is called polar nature of water. Also we have studied that density of water is maximum at 4 degrees Celsius. What is density? It is the mass of unit volume of a substance. So how do you measure it? Measure it in terms of kg by meter cube or grams per cc, centimeter cube. So these are the things we have already studied in the previous lessons. Now coming to today's home assignments, I think all of you prepared, right? First, an interesting question is, a blotting paper placed on spilled ink absorbs the ink. Why? It need not be ink only. If for water also is there any waste water, if you put one blotting paper, it absorbs. Why it is so? It is because of the capillary action. Because as you know, blotting paper is made up of cellulose. So the cellulose of the blotting paper serves like a very fine capillaries and it absorbs all the water or ink. It may be water also, it may be ink also. And if it is cotton or any cloths, if you take, it is capillary action of the threads. So anyway, here we are telling about capillary action. That is an important point you must note. Just like you draw ink from the bottle or putting injections, is it not? So putting injection also, the action will be taken in a form of a capillary action, right? And also we have seen the second question, what is the meaning of the statement? Density of water is 1 at 4 degrees Celsius is 1 gram per cm cube. Sometimes we call it as cc also, cm cube or cc. So what is the meaning of that? It means that mass of 1 cubic centimeter of water, one volume of water is 1 gram. Understood? So if you say 1 kg, that is the SI unit by meter cube, means what? Mass of 1 meter cube volume of water is 1 kg at 4 degrees Celsius. So 4 degrees Celsius is a very standard word, and at that temperature the density will be maximum. And one more question, the fishes living in water bodies of very cold regions do not die in severe winter. See the beauty of nature, there will be ice on the top, but all the fishes and other aquatic animals will live happily under that ice. Why it is? That is a question. Very interesting thing you must note. There are so many things very, very interesting in nature. This is one such. Where do you find it? You find it in Arctic or Antarctic regions where the temperature is below -10, -15, etc. So ice being lighter than water keeps floating on the surface. This is your experience also, is it not? Even though ice is another form of water only, it floats because volume becomes more, density becomes less. The density less, it will float. So it acts like an insulator. There are two things, one is called conductor, another is called insulator. So what does it do? It slows down the cooling and freezing of the lower layers of water, and that is why the fishes which are under this ice will be happy and free, and it is only such places where human beings do not trouble the nature. As all of our experience, wherever human beings enter, there will be some problem, either for plants or for the animals or for the birds or for the insects. Man enters means he is so selfish, is it not? So, but here they are very happy and free and safe also because of the nature's blessings. So I think you understood, and this special property of water is called, anybody? Starts with A. Can't remember. Okay, I told it orally. It is called anomalous expansion of water. What do you mean anomalous expansion? From 0 to 4, water contracts, and 4 to 0, water expands. That's how the ice is formed. So this is called special property only for water it is. It is called anomalous expansion of water. Now coming to today's topic, that is water pollution. So can you make out? Can you write an essay on this figure? Try. So here is one beautiful figure. It explains something. So think about that. Let us help you, bring you some points. Water pollution is the contamination of water bodies like lakes, rivers, groundwater and oceans. So contamination of water. And water bodies means what? Like lakes. You know very well how the lake water is polluted. Sometimes rivers also. You heard about purification of Ganges, especially Varanasi. Who started that purification process? Yes, it is the Prime Minister of India who started purification of Ganga. And groundwater, that also will be polluted. And ocean, this is one figure of pollution of oceans. Let us discuss about that, how it happens. It occurs due to the discharge of untreated pollutants. These pollutants may be solids like these plastics and all, or it may be liquids, as you can see here. So they are not treated. So they are made to flow into oceans. Then it is called as untreated pollutants. They will cause what is called as water pollution. It not only affects the plants and organisms living near the location of discharge, but also travels to other locations through transportation of polluted water. So here what you see, this is a polluted water. You see this plastic bottles, then chemicals, all this. What do they do? They harm the living organisms in water. It may be plants also, it may be fishes also, tortoise and other things. No? They will be affected. Not only that, when it moves from one place to another, what happens? Wherever it goes on spreading the pollution. So do you think it is right? No. But the factory people will tell, what shall we do it? You can see the practical example in Raichur. There is a big thermal power plant. Have you visited? No, not visited. Once you visit, it is one of the the place of production of electricity. There all the waste of the factory is driven into the river there. If you go to the river side, you see this type of things. The color of water also changes. Of course, they try their best to purify and put into water. Still, there will be some effect of that. And the aquatic animals will be disturbed very much. So this is one more which I was just now referring to. The sources of water pollution by the factory. This is a factory waste coming out in pipes. What do the factories do? They leave all these pollutants into the river. Factories and industries. What is the difference between factory and industry? Industry means large scale factories. Is it not? Which release various toxins. Toxins means what? Poisons. Untreated effluents. Effluent means liquid waste. It is not cleaned. Heavy metals and industrial solvents. So in a factory like iron and steel, there will be waste, and these waste also made to flow into the rivers, and which cause pollution in the river water. Sometimes sea water also. So this is how this water is polluted. And one more thing is, agriculture farms releases fertilizers and pesticides, which also leads to eutrophication and biomagnification. About this you are going to study in chapter number 30. Details. Eutrophication and biomagnification. So, whenever there is agriculture farms, naturally they have to use fertilizer, right? When you say fertilizer, there are two types, natural fertilizer and artificial fertilizers. So, and also pesticides is inevitable. They have to use pesticides for the plants to grow. And all the waste will go to the water bodies like lakes, rivers and so on. So, here is a figure, you can see the formation of algae. Here this is a stored water. So, when there is stored water, the nutrients will be disturbed. So, this is one more example of pollution, and this is what I was referring to as Ganges. This was how it was. Even they used to leave dead bodies. There are some ghats, what is called. Ghats means river place where the people take bath there. Thousands of people. So you can see this people taking bath. This is the ghat. So when they take bath, if they use soap and all, the dirty will go to water. And sometimes they wash clothes also. Sometimes they wash the vessels also. All this will add to water. And it was a day when dead bodies, half burnt dead bodies were thrown into water. And now you can see this. Of course, this photo was taken in the night time, I think, because you can see lights. Now it is pure water. Now if you go to Haridwar, Shikesh and all, you can see pure water. Ganges, water of Ganges is scientifically proved. The best sample of water. How many have gone to Ganges? At least once in lifetime you must go, if not now. Okay, when you become earning member, you have sufficient money, better you go in trains, not in buses. Flights will be very costly. Trains are better. You can see so many things on the way. Anyway, these Ganges or Ganga, Yamuna, all these rivers which had a lot of contamination earlier, nowadays is being purified, and government also has taken a lot of steps to purify the water. Anyway, why you should study this topic is, you should be having awareness. Even in a house also, you should have awareness how these water bodies are made dirty. And sometimes mining of say iron and steel, or it may be any other metals like chromium, cobalt, nickel, etc. And sulfur, which are buried deep in the earth. What they do, all wastes are being sent to water. That will spoil. Sewage pipes and storm water drains release various pathogens, disinfectants and detergents. So, sewage pipe means the toilet pipe or the waste water, all the waste water will be made to release to the water sources, water bodies like rivers, lakes, etc., which will cause lot of diseases also. And this is another example of pollution. Here there is air pollution. So what does air pollution make? There will be pollutants like sulfur dioxide, SO2, nitrogen oxide, say NO2, etc. what happens when rainwater falls on them? So respective acids are produced. Sulfur dioxide produces sulfuric acid, nitrogen peroxide produces nitric acid, and that will come in the form of rains called as acid rains. And these acid rains are very dangerous for the living habitats. So that is another way of pollution which I can see. That's why the usually cultured people will not allow for the building these factories, because they say there will be pollution of air, pollution of water, pollution of food also, is it not? So much of trouble will be there. But sometimes it is inevitable. So food processing units and their waste includes fats and greases and released into the water. For example, preparation of pickles, preparation of so many kinds of juice, is it not? All this, when they prepare these food items, there will be waste like fats and greases. All these are, made to flow into river bodies, rivers or lakes, etc. So again, it is a pollution of water. So there are two types of water pollution. One is called point source pollution and it is called non-point source pollution. Point source, so this is called point. Is it not? Pointed. You have a pencil point, wicket point, that know very well. Wickets, they are when they for the games to start or before the game starting, there will be points for the wickets. That is called wicket points. So pollution caused by contaminants that enter a water body from a single identifiable source, such as a pipe or a ditch. Single identifiable source. So that means a pipe, if the water is coming from the pipe, that is called single point, or from a ditch, that is water or wastewater coming in the ditches, that will flow into the lakes or rivers. That is called point source. What is non-point source? Pollution caused by diffused contamination that does not originate from a single discrete source. The cumulative effect of contaminants gathered from large area, such as leaching of fertilizers and pesticides from agricultural lands. So large area, pollution caused due to large area, that is called as non-point source. This is called as point source. Okay, there are the two types. Now some interesting facts. Of course, this is not a thing which you must learn. This is for information, that's all. Asia has a maximum number of polluted rivers than anywhere in the world. Most of it contain bacteria created from human waste. Human waste, maybe liquids, maybe solids. They are allowed to flow into the water bodies like lakes, rivers, etc. That will have so much of bacteria in it, and that is a pollution. Plastic being a major water pollutant causing huge destruction of marine life. Easily you have seen nowadays in water bottles or your juice bottles, so many bottles are come. All this will go to rivers and lakes, responsible for death of more than 1 lakh sea mammals, sea birds and various type of fishes. Understanding? That's called as aquatic animals. So that are disturbed by the water pollutant. And thirdly, in 2011, Tsunami debris in Japan created a 70 kilometers long island of debris that is floating into the Pacific Ocean. Tsunami. What is tsunami? It's a Japanese word. The spelling is Tsuanami. Please know the spelling. But you spell it as tsunami, not tsunami. So it is nothing but huge waves coming from sea or oceans. What they do? They come and lash on the lands. When they lash on the lands, so many buildings will collapse. Is it not? So many boats will be washed out. So many things will happen. That is what you call it as debris. Means waste. All this has formed about 70 kilometers of long island. So for 70 kilometers it has created on the seashore, and this has caused lot of pollution in the Pacific Ocean. This happened in Japan. Similarly, in other countries also there was so much effect because of tsunami. But we can't help it because it is one of the unseen, unpredictable, calamity of nature. So you should be praying to God to save humans and also aquatic animals, birds, etc. That's what Baba teaches. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Is it not? So can you find the answer before the letters are revealed? So contamination of water bodies is called. Come on. What is the answer? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is called? Yes. Water pollution. Can make out, na? Okay. So that is an interesting thing. So answer is water pollution. Second question. Unscramble the following words. So 5 seconds will be given. Here is some words are there. You must set it right. Can you just think? Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this word should be, see, after 5 seconds it gives the correct answer. What is the correct answer? Pollution. And now one more interesting thing. Again 5 seconds time. You must tell what it is. So it takes 5 seconds to answer. Answer is contamination, means pollution. Okay. Is it interesting? Yes. Now here is one diagram. You can do yourself afterwards. Just see this. Just a look at this diagram. List out possible sources of harmful activities done to Mother Earth. So this is the diagram. Now what are the questions? First one you can see here. You must write it in your own words. Second one. Very second one. It's here. Global warming. Third one. The industrial and fossil emissions. Fourth one. Waste disposals. Fifth one. Agriculture wastes. Sixth one. NPK. What is NPK? Nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. Fertilizers, etc. Seventh one. Yes, increased BOD, about which you are studying later. Eighth one. Yes, algae blooms. Increased growth of algae. So Now let us just wind it up with Bhagawan's quotation. What Swami says about that. You must take care of the body. In Sanskrit it is said, Deho Devalaya Prokto Jivo Deva Sanatanaha. So, it's like a boat. And life is like a river. So, this is a river, this is a boat. And what they are doing here? They are collecting sand. On this side is the world. So, this is the body, this is the world, this is life. Water is like life. And this is a world where you are living now. Using this body, we have to live the life of life to reach what? To reach God. You can keep boat for any length of time in the water, there is no danger. But if the water comes into the boat, then there is danger. So this is the body and this is the life. So if water comes to the body, boat means what? The boat will be shaking. Is not. So here what happens? The worldly thoughts, if they enter the body, one has to undergo both pleasure and pains, and you will be caught with that pleasure and pains, and you cannot reach the God, or with all difficulty you have to reach God. So if you do not allow the worldly thoughts to go into the body, then he can reach God. Jahan Ram hai, wahan kaam nahi. Jahan kaam hai, wahan Ram nahi. So if you want to reach God, you must be free from worldly thoughts. So that is the meaning. Okay. So what does the danger of Swami referring to? So here it says, there is danger. Danger is nothing but worldly thoughts. Okay. Now coming to home assignment, we will close with that. Mention any two sources of water. What are the two sources of water pollution based on their origin? There are two types. You must tell it. So that's all the questions. Come prepared. Thank you.